Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really critical interview with NVIDIA's CEO to understand a fundamental shift in how businesses have to operate. And this isn't about the stock market. It's about survival in the age of AI.
So let's just get right to it. The big question on everyone's mind. Is this whole AI thing a real revolution in productivity, or is it just another tech bubble? Well, the material we're digging into today argues that the answer isn't in market predictions, it's in your own company's org chart.
And this quote right here, it just nails the core problem. The biggest risk you face right now isn't failing to buy AI, it's trying to use it while you're still navigating this brand new world with a map that's completely out of date. Okay, so what we're witnessing, what's being described here isn't just another tech trend. It's being framed as a new invisible force that's literally reshaping the business landscape. Think of it as an organizational gravity field, and it's pulling everything in a new direction. And here is the thing you absolutely have to get. This change isn't optional. AI isn't just giving us new tools. It is fundamentally redefining what an organization is even capable of. And this is already happening, whether we're ready for it or not. So what's actually causing this massive shift? Let's look at the single most important development that's driving all of this. This is the moment that really fractures the past from the future.
I mean, that one sentence explains the entire shift. For decades, the value equation was simple. A person uses a tool. But now, for the first time ever, the software itself can use the tools. And that completely upends how we think about employee value and how we structure our teams.
Think about it. For the last 30 years, entire careers have been built around mastering specific tools. Being an Excel wizard, a Photoshop guru, a master of a specific coding language. But what happens when the software itself can master those tools? Well, that human proficiency, by itself, starts to lose its value. The new equation isn't addition anymore, it's multiplication. It's a person's insight times AI's capability times raw computing power. So, if saying, "I know how to use AI" is about to become as basic as saying, "I know how to use a web browser," where's the real value going to come from? Well, it's this. The ability to be an organizational architect. Someone who can actually design the systems where humans and AI work together to solve really tough problems.
And this is what that person does. They don't just manage a process that already exists. They take big, messy, fuzzy goals and deconstruct them into structured tasks an AI human team can actually execute. And most importantly, they own the final business result, not just whether the process was followed.
All right, so once you have these new architects and these intelligent systems working together, this is where things get really wild. The basic math of how a business grows starts to completely change. It becomes nonlinear. This statement from the interview is, honestly, it's mind-bending. For a century, business growth has been pretty linear. You invest X, you get Y in return. But this suggests that for the first time, we're looking at exponential returns. That breaks all the old rules. And this chart just shows you exactly what that new physics of growth looks like. A doubled input of compute doesn't just give you a doubled output, it gives you a quadrupled output. That creates a compounding exponential advantage that can leave competitors in the dust fast. So how is that even possible? It's because compute, or raw processing power, it isn't just a cost on a spreadsheet anymore. It's a strategic asset. It's an amplifier. It literally determines the thinking frequency of your organization, how fast you can test ideas, learn, and make decisions. And that leads us to the key question every leader has to be asking right now. Is your organization built for linear efficiency, or is it designed for non-linear growth? Because just buying a bunch of AI tools and plugging them into your old way of doing things won't work. You'll just have a faster version of your old company, not a new one ready for this reality.
So, if the rules of the game have changed this dramatically, the players have to change too. And this means leadership needs a whole new identity. You have to evolve from the traditional role of a manager to something new, a commander.
Now, the crucial thing to get here is the timeline. This is not a sprint. This isn't some AI project you can knock out in 3 months, or even a true transformation in 6. The source material is suggesting this is a 7 to 8 year cycle to build out this new infrastructure. It requires long-term vision.
I love this analogy because it makes it so clear why the old structures just can't work anymore. The old software world was like a VCR tape. It was stable, predictable, pre-recorded. This new world is a live broadcast. It's constantly learning and evolving in real time. And showing up to a live event with a VCR, well, the technology is just fundamentally mismatched.
And that mismatch is exactly why this new role of the commander is so necessary. This isn't just about giving orders. It's about skillfully orchestrating a whole unified system, your human talent, your intelligent AI agents, and your raw computing power, all focused on achieving one clear objective.
So, okay, we've talked about the shift in value, the new rules of nonlinear growth, and the new kind of leadership required. So what? What does this all mean for you right now, today?
This is the ultimate warning. If you try to just bolt powerful AI onto your old, rigid company structure, it's a recipe for disaster. It's like putting a train engine on a horse-drawn carriage. You don't get a faster carriage, you get a catastrophic failure, because the new power will tear the old structure apart.
Let's just be brutally honest about the stakes. In the past, being slow was a competitive disadvantage. You could probably recover. In this new gravity field, the pace is accelerating so fast that being slow is an extinction-level event.
And this is really the final, crucial point. This isn't a philosophy you can choose to believe in. You don't have to like it. You just have to acknowledge that this new organizational gravity is here. It's a law of physics for business now, and it's already shaping your competitive landscape.
And so we end with this question for you. The organizational gravity field is here. The choice is no longer if your company will have to change. The only question is, will you choose to re-architect it by design, now, or will you be forced to change later out of obsolescence? How are you going to respond?